It's a breeze.
Call or go online now and get the complete Rice Robot cooking system with the steamer tray and 1-2-3 recipe guide, all for the special TV discount price of just $39.99. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. We'll even ship your entire order free. You get it all at incredible value for one low price. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-575-5956 or go to buyricерobot.com. So call 1-800-575-5956 or order online at buyricerobot.com today.
To Last Call. I am Mike Crispi, and we got a big show for you on this Saturday night on Real America's Voice. President Trump barnstorming through the Middle East, making deals every which way with every Arab country. The question is, what does Israel think about this? There's new reporting on Trump's relationship with Netanyahu. We're going to get into that. And can international peace be brokered in the region? All that while the Democrats are breaking their brains, simping for MS-13 members at one of the most violent imprisonment facilities in Newark, New Jersey. We'll talk about that and so much more. We got a big show for you tonight. I'm ready. Producer Frankie's ready. You better be too. And let's go. We are going to be too big to win.
Mike Crispi. Where's Mike? Man, did he make a good speech. Thank you, Mike. You have big plans for the future, and we're with you.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike Crispi, and this is Last Call. And joining me, as always, the one and only, the most based producer in the game, an Italian-American hero. And, I heard that if Trump needed one more guy, he would have been there as the special envoy to the Middle East. He would have been great at brokering foreign diplomacy. But he's here with us, brokering this show. Producer Frankie, how you doing, my friend?
Listen, I saw Theo Vaughn there. I'm like, oh, Theo's there. Where's my invite? What's going on here? The producers, no love?
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Next trip, Frankie, next trip. I have a feeling Trump is going to be back there a couple of times. Now, obviously, we're going to get all into what's going on in the Middle East right now. President Trump barnstorming through, looking really some would say, the leader of the free world. What a concept to have somebody at the helm who looks like they're in charge, who acts like they're in charge, and who's treated like he's in charge. And it's amazing how you look at the way that all of the foreign heads of state treat Trump, and we'll show it to you on the show. But it's amazing how here, back home, it makes it look even more cartoonish when you see what Trump is doing abroad with real stuff, when you see the way that the Democrat Party treats him here in America. Obviously, we've talked about the way that this, I call him Jimmy Fallon in blackface, Cherie Tenenbaum, some congressman no one's ever heard of, was the sorry sap that had to initiate the impeachment articles. Because of course, we got to do another impeachment some way. It wouldn't be a Trump presidential term without Democrats having an impeachment proceeding, which, by the way, yesterday in the Congress failed. Oh, what a shocker. It did not advance the impeachment articles. So the question is, why did they do it? And the answer is because this guy, Rep. Cherie Tenenbaum, is very dumb. He did an interview with a local reporter, and listen to how he doesn't even know anything about his own. This is almost kind of bizarre and suspect. Doesn't even know anything about his own congressional district. This is the guy leading the impeachment against, as you can see, from the Middle East, the leader of the free world. It's comical. Roll it, Frankie.
I don't know. What are the 5 Grosse Points cities?
Well, look, I'm not here to answer a quiz. I'm here to say that I'm going to fight for the people of Detroit. I'm going to fight for my
Grosse Pointe
and all of the Grosse Points and all of Taylor and every part of the 13th district.
Okay, I'm just do this real quick. Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Woods, Grosse Pointe Farms, and Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay. That's right. On your campaign filings it says occupation. Yours says United States government. aren't you employed by the people of the United States?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you fix that one. Okay, and finally, you're getting nailed with this one.
It's so good.
The Beagles.
Frankie. And then he obviously doesn't have an answer about the Beagles. But as you can see here, this guy doesn't know anything about the congressional district he even represents. As a matter of fact, he even paused when he had to say the word Detroit. Like he didn't know. That's how much time this guy spends thinking about his job as a congressman, which is to advocate for the people of the congressional district you're in. So he goes, and I'm advocating for Detroit. It's like, oh, wow, shocker. You picked the one city on the map. And what a shocker that it's Detroit where this guy represents. What a surprise that he represents urban Detroit where they stuff the ballot boxes, the globalists do, to put in their little stooge candidate to carry out things more on a nationalist, globalist scale. He's not doing anything in the capacity of a congressman. Our founding fathers would be rolling in their grave if they saw that display of some foreign-born plant imbecile who kills puppies trying to take down the leader of the free world. It's unbelievable. This is what leadership looks like, okay? President Trump on the world stage in Saudi Arabia, changing the game. You know, no more neocon nonsense from Republicans, no more globalism. This is what being back in charge at the helm looks like. President Trump in Saudi Arabia telling the world, no more wars, no more 20-year Afghanistan-like nonsense, no more psyops, none of this stuff. We're going to have peace and prosperity, and that will bring us all together. Everyone will get rich, and that is what will ferment our bonds, not our divides. President Trump, masterful. Compare that guy to this. Roll it.
Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do.
Amen. Isn't that an unbelievable statement? And it just kind of hits so close to home. It's that these people who are not that smart, again, Trump has shown how unintelligent the left and the right are, okay? Sheree Tannenbaum is one example, but it's also Bush and the neocon right, that they're just not that impressive. They're just not that smart. And Trump says, yeah, you know, it's kind of unbelievable. You get a little propaganda that's spun up on TV. You create this invisible boogeymen in the Middle East running around who are simultaneously so stupid that they live in caves, but they're also like evil masterminds and they can, you know, plot foreign terror acts on the most fortified country on the planet. How's that make sense? It's kind of interesting. And then he talks about how if other countries are prosperous and if other countries are making money, everyone can work together to have prosperity, and then you have no reason to fight, would you? The other countries get this. The world gets this. Anybody who believes in America first gets this. And this is why the foreign leaders treat Trump how they do. It's not a display, and Frankie, you can roll this stuff here, this amazing footage. It's not a display of like, oh, they're trying to buy him off with flattery, and of course, they know that Trump could be bought. No, this is what they do in their countries to recognize strength. This is what they do. Again, they live in Qatar and in the UAE and in Saudi Arabia. The royal family is treated like royal by everybody. So they treat President Trump as if he is royal. They treat him like he's the king of the world. I mean, again, these are the kings of their country. But you saw MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, when they're walking up to the signing ceremony, what does he do? He steps and he lets Trump go in front of him, okay? He like says it like as an act of respect. These gestures in these foreign countries mean something. When Biden gets greeted by some, no-name Sherpa for the king, and he just kind of like skirts him in, and then the king gives him a fist bump and, hardly makes small talk, shows they just aren't interested. They know the guy's illegitimate. So all the left can do, Frankie, is say, well, actually, they know they can buy off Trump with flattery. No, this is how it's supposed to be. You treat Trump like he's in charge of everybody, because he is. You think MBS was thinking that about Joe Biden? The guy that they're talking about now that it's being leaked, that if they stole the second term from him, they were talking about him being in a wheelchair like FDR. He's going to be FDR 2.0. And you think that these foreign leaders respect a guy who comes up and says, "Oh, we'll just bomb your country because we need to and because we, have to do it, and no prospect of peace. We can't talk about it." That's what they would say before Trump. Now, Trump got some heat from the neocons for lifting sanctions on Syria. Syria is not exactly a great country, a lot of bad people in Syria, but what do you think they're going to do now? Oh, wow, what a shock. Trump lifts the sanctions, and now they can build an economy and focus on that instead of attacking people to steal wealth and power and influence and create terror to have their power. How about economic power over violent power? I think that's pretty good. Here is the president of Syria. Roll it.
Syria will commit to strengthening the investment climate in Syria so that we can enable the unlocking of the capitals within Syria and outside Syria so that we can reconstruct the country together. We welcome all the investors from inside and outside the countries and from Syria.
Wow. All right. So Frankie, people are like, "Oh, this guy was a Taliban fighter. This guy was, a militant in some group." Listen, I get it. I understand. But this is 2025. What is the solution? If the solution is not to, hey, and you heard the guy, we're going to focus on building ourselves up and our economy and all that. If they're not focusing on that, what are they going to focus on? Committing crime. What happens in the hood where they have no means and they live in slums? They commit crimes. They don't value their lives. What's the alternative of that? Let them have an economy, let them build themselves up, let them have jobs, let them have wealth, let them do their thing, and then maybe they'll have a little bit more of an incentive because they'll be doing deals with foreign countries, America and others, that they won't want to attack us. What a concept. Oh, but Mike, back 25 years ago, and I understand nobody hates terrorists more than Mike Crispi and producer Frankie, but what are we supposed to do? Get into another 20-year forever war? What are we supposed to do? Well, if you ask Mark Levin, Frankie, Mark Levin would say that we have to bomb, fight, go to war, have hundreds of thousands of more people die just for the cause of what he believes the American people care about. Mark Levin doesn't speak for MAGA. Mark Levin doesn't speak for the new age of America First. All Mark Levin speaks for, Frankie, are the ever-dwindling number of boomers who still buy his book and watch his television show where he screams and yells like a cranky old man and makes me sound tame. The guy's like screaming at the top of his lungs. I'm like, they put this on cable TV?
He's got the handshake.
It's unbelievable. We're going to roll this here. He's trembling. And the guy, when he talks, it's like, Mark Levin, I don't think you love America first. I think you might love another country first. And again, you can like other countries and we can have allies, but you don't go crazy asking for a war that has no benefit to America. I like what Trump's doing better. Mark Levin wants to say that he's done with Trump. He wants to, but he knows he can't because that'll lose the ever-dwindling small number he has left. Listen to this sicko. Roll it.
I speak for Christians and Jews and others alike. This is the view of the American people. That's number one. Americans hate Hamas. We hate terrorists, butchers, Nazis. We hate men that kill babies, that decapitate babies, that rape women and burn people alive, and attack young teenagers at festivals. We hate them. We despise them. We got real questions about Saudi Arabia and Saudi Arabia's role in 9/11. And the more that comes out, as the FBI just released some information about 6 to 8 months ago, the worse it looks that Saudi Arabia did in fact have a hand in helping Al-Qaeda attack us and kill over 2,000 of our fellow citizens. That's what we Americans reject and believe. We know who the good guys are. 80% of us support the state of Israel, our holy land for Jews and Christians. And most of us despise the terrorist and the terrorist regimes, all of which are one form of dictatorship or another. So that's the foundation. Let's begin there. If only Israel would accept the Palestinian...
Okay, so he starts going crazy and yelling. He's upset. What does he want? Like, you listen to Mark Levin talk, Frankie, and he is not offering any way forward. He's not offering a next 20 years of peace. All he's offering to do is take us back to the last 20 years where we get into war and thousands of more people die. So he has no answer. Oh, well, we shouldn't be talking to Saudi Arabia because of 9/11. MBS was not around during 9/11. And 9/11, there are a lot of questions of the 9/11. But MBS was not around on 9/11. All these people were not around on 9/11. George Bush was the president. We went into a forever war of 20 years. What did we get out of it? Nothing but more death. Frankie, I mean, am I on the right path there? It's like, yes, you can stand with Israel and our allies and say peace and prosperity through the region, but that doesn't mean bomb other countries into oblivion, because all you're going to do is get Afghanistan 2.0. Frankie, what do you think?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Mike, I have noticed a pattern, and this man, Mark is just never happy unless bombs are being dropped, and that's just a fact. I mean, this man is only happy when bombs are being signed and dropped on innocent civilians. I'm sorry, that's just true. And you made a good point when you're just like, I don't feel like this man is America first. And it's just like, you watch this, and I've never, not once, seen him emotionally, I've seen him close to tears many times, but never because of America. It is only it's only Israel. And I'm not saying anything wrong with Israel. That's great. You could like any nation you want, but it's weird. It's just a weird thing to have such an emotional attachment. Like, I'm from my ancestors are from Italy. I love Italy. There's just no situation where I'm going to be more emotionally distraught by another nation than America itself. So it's just it's bizarre.
Yeah. And, it is bizarre. And this guy, Mark Levin, he lashes out. He freaks out. He attacks people. He was attacking Tucker Carlson the other day, too, calling him a bastard or whatever he said. And it's just so, Frankie, it's just so, like, we're over it, okay? We're over it. We don't see a future where we're going to go in for the next 20 years of Afghanistan 2.0. Nobody sees that future in the America First movement. The dying boomer wing wants that, I guess. But I think if you want to have prosperity, how about we don't get into World War III, where you get Pakistan, India, Ukraine, Russia, Middle East, and Israel all bombing each other, and then hundreds of thousands of Americans die, and you don't think it reaches our shores? How about we have peace for the next 20 years? Mark Levin is a sicko, and you can stand with Israel, and you can be a believer in their security and their prosperity, but at the same time, don't drag us into a war, because the one like George Bush-esque faction, that's Netanyahu's government, wants the neocon stuff that Bush wanted, okay? That's what it is. I'm sorry. All right, guys, we're going to tell you about our first sponsor of the show today, and they are our friends over at the Smart Health Plan. My question is, are you fed up with health insurance premiums that are draining your wallet? Well, I want to introduce you to the Smart Health Plan. Say goodbye to big insurance and government control and say hello to huge monthly premium savings. A nationwide PPO network with unlimited doctor visits and low copays, unlimited and free access to telemedicine, and comprehensive catastrophic coverage designed to protect you and your family for the financial consequences of a serious illness or injury. If you're facing COBRA, if you're self-employed, or if you need a better deal for your family or can't get insurance anywhere else, the Smart Health Plan has your back, and they can get you covered. And if you have a business of 50 or fewer employees, they can be the ultimate solution for you and your team. Just go to the website you see on the screen, thesmarthealthplan.com. That is thesmarthealthplan.com. Or call my friend Barry today at 833-752-6742. Get covered, guys. 6 in 10 bankruptcies in this country are because of health ailments. Don't let it be you. The Smart Health Plan, get in touch with them today. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with so much more. The show rolls on. Do not go anywhere.
Hello, this is Mike Huckabee. President Trump said he wants to take back the White House and teach our kids to love our country. That's why my team created a kids guide to President Trump. It'll teach your kids all about President Trump's accomplishments and his vision for America. And right now, I want to give it to you for free as part of this free gift bundle.
Order your free kids guide to President Trump, get a free bonus guide, and a free membership to AMAC featuring dozens of money-saving benefits at kidsneedtrump.com. That's kidsneedtrump.com.
Is your body ready for summer?
We're going to build a body you can be proud of. You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I
had that sexy little bee.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. Thanks for sticking with us on this Saturday night on Real America's Voice. You know, we've been covering President Trump's masterful voyage through the Middle East. He's stopping in all these countries. He's bringing in trillions of dollars. As Trump said, nobody has ever seen anything like this, meaning a leader of America going and getting so much money, so much investment, coming back into the country all at once. And Democrats somehow are mad about it. But I do want to talk about something that's going on that I've noticed that people are starting to talk about, and that is perhaps a feeling of being snubbed by Israel. This is starting to come up here, is that Netanyahu has been kind of noticeably absent for some of these talks. And this is a throwback clip here that I want to show you guys that people are starting to resurface, saying that do the two leaders have a good relationship? Do they have a bad relationship? Is it souring? What is going on here? Here is a throwback clip that I saw a couple years ago and said, maybe something's a little off here. Roll it, Frankie. So I don't know if that was intentional or not. He eventually did go back and shake the hand, but I thought at the time that's kind of weird, you know? I mean, it seemed pretty deliberate in my eyes. And now there's been reporting that Trump did not want Netanyahu, I guess, involved in some of these meetings because there is some tension and he doesn't like the fact that he's kind of trying to dupe him or one-up him. It's a very complicated situation of what's going on. Here to help me make sense of President Trump's foreign trip are my two panelists tonight, my friends. We have Linda Catalina, Wake Up with Linda, on Instagram and on X, and my friend Peter Cordy, a fellow New Jerseyan and reporter for the Washington Examiner. I want to get to you guys here and talk about what's going on. But Linda, I'll start with you. Do you think that President Trump right now, as he's barnstorming through the Middle East, do you think that the Democrats have any leg to stand on when they say that this trip is him taking money and taking bribes and that he's, snubbing our allies? How are they hating on the fact that he's bringing in trillions of dollars right now into the country? How are they hating on it, Linda?
Right. First of all, thank you for having me, Mike. And, when it comes to the Democrats, everything that they do is projection, or in a lot of times they're just hypocrites. President Trump ran on a promise to bring back peace to the Middle East. When President Trump was in office first term, we didn't have a war. We didn't have what happened on October 7th, which was tragic. I think that, we've heard rumors that Mike Waltz, who was no longer part of security advisor, now he's moved on to be the UN ambassador, I believe, that allegedly he was trying to undermine President Trump by working with Netanyahu behind closed doors. And knowing President Trump and knowing how he operates, this is just simply not something that he's going to let, fly And, with the Democrats, they don't want Trump to look good. We've known this since 2015. The reality is that he got a great reception in the Middle East. We've seen that. We've seen the trillions of dollars that the Arab world is willing to put into our economy. I was playing tennis this morning, as I told you, and my tennis coach was saying how he's getting already so many phone calls of loans and things that he's like, our economy is about to boom. And that's just, they don't want to admit that. They want to make sure that President Trump looks bad in all angles. Right? This is what they do.
I like the barometer. I like the barometer of people signing up for tennis lessons. Means the economy is booming well. That's good. I like that, Linda.
Right.
That's a good point. Peter, what are you hearing? You're in D.C. People are talking about this. They're talking about foreign aid, and a lot of the people in D.C. are in the defense space, and they don't like a peaceful, prosperous country. They want us to be at war. What do you make of Trump's trip, and what are people inside the Beltway saying about it?
Yeah, Trump has had a really successful week, especially on this trip, not just with these deals, but obviously he secured the release of the last American hostage by Hamas. He's announced trade deals with the UK and China. Something that really benefits Israel is he's been pushing Syria to sign the Abraham Accords, which would recognize Israel as a country, in an attempt to normalize relations with the country, with Syria, and create more stability in the region. But of course, capping it all off are these deals with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, after announcing a $600 billion investment from Saudi Arabia into the United States. He also announced a $1.2 trillion economic exchange with Qatar, where you have Qatar investing billions of dollars into the United States manufacturing, buying just with Boeing alone over 200 planes. And this is going to impact America, not just foreign countries, but the United States working class people, probably most of all. Just that one deal alone, the White House estimates will support over 150,000 jobs per year and a total of 1 million jobs. And Trump, he was elected in November with a mandate to fix immigration and the economy, but he's been perhaps most influential on foreign relations, and he's leveraged that to help on the border crisis and with inflation. And the latest numbers suggest he has made enormous strides on both fronts.
I really like that you sum it up that way, because I always said it, and Frankie and I have talked about this, is that I think Trump's most underrated aspect is the way that he does foreign policy. I mean, because the guy, when he's on the world stage, everybody answers to him. Frankie, we got this headline here. If you could just pop it on the screen about this rift going on, and people are talking about this rift. That Trump, Linda, you were talking about it with Mike Waltz, had allegedly cut ties with Netanyahu amid the rift over the Middle East strategy. I think what this is, and Linda, you tell me your thoughts on it. I think what this is Netanyahu telling Trump that he doesn't want him dealing with Qatar and doesn't want him doing these things. I think Trump's stance on all this is, and I said it in my last segment, I think his stance is if everybody has economic success and is building up their own respective countries, then they won't have time to fight. They won't have a reason to fight. So especially in America's interest, where we have to go bail out everybody anyway, don't we want people having economic prosperity? And wouldn't that distract them from, dropping bombs and killing each other? Linda, do you think that President Trump, makes amends with Netanyahu? What do you think is going to happen as this plays out?
I think he's a diplomat first. And as you said, he is at his best being on the world stage. So I think that eventually he will make amends with Netanyahu. I think right now he's kind of showing like, hey, I'm the boss. I'm the president of the United States of America. Israel gets billions of dollars from us. We pretty much pay for their security system, for that Iron Dome. And they need to be responsive to us and not the other way around. President Trump said something really interesting yesterday when he was in Qatar, or actually when he was in Saudi Arabia the day before, where he said, I don't want to have perpetual enemies. And the reality is that there are a lot of bad actors, not only within our own government from both parties, but also our allies who want us to be at war forever in the Middle East. Yes. People voted for a president of peace. We didn't vote for infinite wars. We didn't vote to intrude in another country. We did that already post 9/11. We went to Iraq. We invaded Afghanistan. Millions of people died from both sides. And quite frankly, it's really easy to sit there from Washington, D.C. or from Netanyahu's point of view and say, let's start another war and have Americans die for Israel. We don't want that anymore. So I think that, him being a diplomat first, he will make peace with Netanyahu, but he's showing that he is the boss. He is the president of the United States of America, and we voted for what he's doing right now.
I think that's perfectly put, is that he will do it at the end of the day. It's not personal. This is just how foreign policy needs to be. We're giving billions of dollars to everybody. So, hey, you got to listen to us first. Or the Pez dispense here. We're giving out the money. Now, I want to get to this story for both of you. This situation with the plane, with Qatar. Everyone's talking about the fact that basically, in summary for the audience here, is that Trump is set to accept a plane. Again, Boeing has not been able to produce the new Air Force One. So he is set to accept a plane from the Qataris, which obviously would have to be stripped down and retrofitted to be Air Force One. So it's not like, they're saying, we're going to take in the plane and then, they're going to have spying systems, the Qataris, and what's Trump doing? That's obviously not happening. And what's also not happening is this conflation. The left is obsessed with saying that Trump is taking foreign bribes. And they're saying that, when Trump was criticizing Hillary Clinton for her work, that's the same as Trump taking an aircraft to be sent to the Department of Defense to help our country. It's just a ridiculous juxtaposition. But let's roll this clip here. This is what is actually corrupt. Not Trump taking a plane for the sake of the country and the Department of Defense. The fact that they put these two things together is laughable, but here is what the Clintons were up to. This is what real corruption looks like. Roll it back.
Saudi Arabia gave at least $10 million to the William J. Clinton Foundation, a nonprofit created by the former president. Other foreign government donors include Norway, Kuwait, Qatar, Brunei, Oman, Italy, and Jamaica. For the first time since Clinton, then president, started fundraising for his foundation, he has released what his aides call a complete donor list. The globe-trotting Clinton's foundation has been raised as a concern regarding possible conflicts of...
So, post-presidency foundation, I don't know what kind of work that foundation was doing, Peter. Maybe you could tell me again in D.C., but it seems like this was a post-presidency influence peddling, making money laundering operation to the Clintons. Peter, do you think there's anything similar between what Trump was doing with the Qataris and the plane and what the Clinton Foundation was doing? Seems like that's what the leftist media is trying to put together. What say you, Peter?
Oh, I mean, just look at what the Clinton Foundation did in Haiti to get a good gauge of that. But there's really no conflict of interest that's being decried by the left here. It's what they're arguing especially is that this is in violation of the emoluments clause. The Democrats are arguing this, which prohibits government officials from accepting foreign gifts without congressional approval. The left is also arguing that because some Trump officials, including Pam Bondi, have had ties to Qatar, that this constitutes corruption. Of course, nothing compared to what we've seen in the past with, like the Clinton Foundation. Some Republicans, however, have also come out against this, though, for other reasons, mainly Qatar's sponsoring of terrorism, something Trump has previously criticized the country for, as well as Qatar's history of buying American influence, especially in higher education, and where Qatar's fingerprints have been seen, we've also seen large spikes of anti-Semitic harassment, and that's no coincidence. But Trump and many Republicans have pushed back on this, arguing that this is just a gesture of good faith as we enter these new negotiations, push for peace and stability in the region. And Trump has pretty much argued that it would be really stupid for American taxpayers to pay $400 million for something they could just get for free.
It kind of comes down to that, right? Here is we're talking about the way the left is talking about it. Let's roll this clip here. This is CNN last night arguing about it. Kevin O'Leary versus CNN host. Roll.
The United States Constitution would like to have a word. That's why people care, right?
People care
because the reason that that's in the Constitution is to prevent the President of the United States from accepting things that are being perceived as bribes.
What is the national
The goal of the
this
trip is not to get a giant gift that he can say belongs to him as president, but then he takes with him when he leaves the office.
Abby, you have to distance yourself from Trump derangement syndrome. It's irrelevant to policy. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just so, O'Leary's point, Linda, is like, the whole goal of the trip is like they're investing in jobs in America. Does that mean that they own us now? Yeah. Like, so it's like the whole trip is an exchange of commerce and money and to create equal prosperity. So what do you make of the fallout with the Qatar airplane, Linda?
Well, I think that in terms of like national security and thinking, hey, they could spy on President Trump or us, there is a sense of that could happen. However, I trust that our new, security agencies would be able to strip down and make sure with Kash Patel at the front of the FBI, Penn Bondi at the DOJ, that they would be able to verify that none of that is going to happen. I think that, when it comes to the left, some of the Republicans that are upset about this gift, they don't have anything to say when it comes from influence from other countries, including Israel, right? And I think that's a little bit hypocritical, and we don't have to get into the details when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, I trust President Trump. President Trump, I think, has demonstrated time and time again that he knows how to deal with foreign leaders, and he knows, like I said earlier, how to be a diplomat. And I think that I don't watch CNN for the very reason that this clip just showed. They have Trump derangement syndrome 8.0 at this point. It's been 8 years of the same thing. And at the end of the day, I'm sure that President Trump's going to prove them wrong like they do and like he does every single week, and it's going to work out.
It is fascinating how they have these meltdowns on the same things. And like, I think I say it's to Frankie, it's like the meltdown, it's the same meltdown, but it's like fill in different buzzword on why they're melting down. Kind of like this, which I want to shift gears here and go back to DC. RFK Jr. obviously talking about cleaning up waste, fraud, and abuse in the health department. And it's funny because anything is interchangeable here, is that the left just freaks out and melts down about anything, and you just interchange the words. Here they are wanting to protect waste, fraud, and abuse in the healthcare system, when RFK just says, no, we want to cut the fact that people are double dipping and scamming. They're always protecting scamming, and they're always calling out a legitimate deal. Roll this clip, Frankie.
So do you disagree with the cuts that are being proposed for Medicaid right now?
Oh, the cuts to, this is I don't know if you understand this or whether you're just mouthing, the Democratic talking points. The cuts to Medicaid are for fraud, waste, and abuse. And I'll tell you what that means. It means that because of DOGE, we were able to determine, and it's about 8 million people who would be affected. Because of DOGE, we were able to determine that there are 1 million people who are claiming Medicaid from multiple states. That's illegal. It's theft. You're not allowed to do that. There are another 1 million people who are collecting both under Obamacare and
Mr. Secretary, that has nothing to do with the budget.
So it's double dippers and it's scammers. We have about 20 seconds left here. Peter, I'll give you the last word on Trump cleaning things up. 20 seconds.
Yeah, so the establishment on both sides has really been angered by the Trump administration's efforts to increase transparency and reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. At the hearing, not only did you hear that, but RFK was pressed to pretty much give a unconditional endorsement on a wide range of vaccines that he has already said that you should use, but he wouldn't outright say that they were safe because he doesn't know it for sure. And you have the establishment that's been criticized for their ties to Big Pharma, so that's all tied in there.
Yeah. Hey, you're absolutely right. All right, I want to thank my panel. They'll go crazy on anything, even cutting waste, fraud, and abuse and getting stuff to boost the economy. I want to thank my panel for joining me here on this episode, on this amazing show. Guys, make sure you follow us on Rumble, rumble.com/Crispi, where producer Frankie and I are pumping out, daily content, daily podcasts. We took some time off last week, but we're going to get back to that. And we're going to get back to the show after this break. We're going to take a quick one right now. Oh, and the show rolls on. Thanks for sticking with us on this Saturday night. Don't go anywhere.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping?
Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full-body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
Hi, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. Thanks for sticking with us on this Saturday night on Real America's Voice. You know, people know who watch this show that I reside in the state of New Jersey. And the Democrats have been making headlines in the state of New Jersey for all the wrong reasons. It's become a national story. Democrats essentially barnstorming buildings to protect MS-13 members. But that's not even like the totality of how crazy these people are. We're going to get to that in a minute. Like, everything they're doing lately seems to be counterintuitive to what they were saying, like, right after the election. Right after Trump absolutely crushed Kamala, they had a small stream of consciousness for like a day, Frankie. Like, for a day. We're like, oh, you know, maybe we should have done it a little different. But then they just, like an elastic rubber band, went right back to what they've done. President Trump on Air Force One giving an interview saying, at this point, I guess they're just mental and we're just going to keep riding with this for the next 50 years. Roll it.
Well, not all of them. I think you have a lot of them that they don't know where they are right now. I think they don't know what to do, like men playing in women's sports. I saw a guy that I know, good guy, Democrat. He's trying to justify, 2 days ago on television, he's being hammered, and he's trying to justify men playing in women's sports, and it's sad. I wanted to call him and say, you better get off that subject. That's not an 80-20. That's about a 97-3, okay? If they talk about, you know, the famous, they always say it's 80-20. What's not, a lot of these things are not 80-20, like transgender for everybody. Let's have transgender for everybody, your kids, everybody. That's not an 80-20. They always say that's 80-20. That's 99-1, I would say.
So you can see they're losing their mind. Trump is basically saying, you know, in so many terms, you know, people advocating for children to be able to snip their genitals off, not exactly something that, you know, is a swing issue. It's not a wedge issue. You know, boys playing women's sports, not exactly a wedge issue. So another one I mentioned, obviously in my state of New Jersey, where these Democrat members of Congress and the mayor of Newark stormed one of the most violent ICE containment facilities in the entire country. If you've been in Newark, New Jersey, you know that nobody goes down there unless they're going to the airport. Hilariously enough, the airport right now is inoperable. Okay, like you cannot fly in the Newark airport. Massive problems because they're using old technology, totally dilapidated. What happened to the billions of dollars of infrastructure money, okay, that, you know, Republicans and Democrats voted for Biden? Remember when they gave him that win and they signed the infrastructure bill? Well, newsflash, who's surprised? We don't have any infrastructure for probably one of the most important infrastructure facets of our country. You know, airplanes running normal and not crashing into one another. and air traffic controllers able to do their job. So you would think that the members of Congress in New Jersey would be focused on that, and the mayor of Newark, whose airport right now doesn't work, you'd think he'd be all over it. No, they stormed the ICE facility, and you guys have now seen that by this point. But you would think that the Democrats, again, if they were, going against what Trump is saying, if they really wanted to show that they've learned something about getting their ass kicked years and years and years in a row, that they would say, you know what, these guys are kind of crazy. You probably shouldn't storm a federal building. That's kind of January 6th-esque, right? And storm a building to do what exactly? To go bust out the most violent MS-13 gang members who were housed in this place in Newark? Do you know this facility in Newark that they stormed, Frankie? 75% of the people being housed there are like serious violent offenses, not like normal offenses, serious violent known gang members as well. So people know that, and that's like, as Trump would say, a 99-1 issue. Nobody would want people to go use their time to go bust them out. Like, you're going to go bust them out? You're going to do a visit? It's worse than Kilmar. AOC, not learning. Again, people saying she might be the presidential candidate in 2028. She's saying, no. Republicans are going to be in trouble if we do anything to respond to this. Roll it.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Crispi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson-Coleman, on Representative or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a problem. If you lay a finger on them, we're going to have a problem. You know what's funny is that, Frankie, this is what the Democrats always do. They always say, well, you're going to be violent and you're going to raise the temperature. And then they always claim like they don't do some manic, mentally ill thing that they can't control first. That's what they do. They always act like they're the good ones. Oh, if you lay a finger, you are escalating it. No. One of the representatives, and then we'll get to you, Frankie. One of the representatives, Representative LaMonica McIver, okay, who is the congresswoman in Newark, okay, again, that's the area where the airport doesn't work. She says, oh, I wasn't violent. I didn't touch anybody. They were detaining me, and they say they're going to press charges. I didn't touch nobody. That's what she says. DHS just said, all right, here's the tape. Here's you shoving the DHS agent. Roll it. The body cam footage. Look at the woman in the red right there. Fat woman in the red. Look what she's doing. What is that? What is she doing? See what they do, Frankie? It's a cowardly escalation. Cowardly. They act like they're, you're going to be escalating and making this violent. She's literally throwing elbows at the back of the guy's head and shoulder while he's looking away. And she goes, well, I didn't do it. They literally just put out the tape and say, shut up. Yes, Frankie.
Yeah, I got a hot take for you, Mike, all right? And I'm just saying, I think that those DHS agents should be investigated. And I'll tell you why. Because if I invade a place like that, I expect to have guns drawn and possibly get tased. I see no tasers and I see nothing. I don't find this equal. I think there should be equality, okay? And I think that they should have been treated. I think they were treated pretty nicely, honestly. So I'm calling for a full investigation to these agents on why they were so gentle with these representatives. That's my take, Mike.
Ooh, that is a hot take. It's funny, January 6th, people who walked through velvet ropes got tear gassed, and people got shot and killed like Ashley Babbitt. What did they do? They stormed a federal building. What were these representatives doing? Storming a federal building. To do what exactly? To go jailbreak MS-13 gang members?
Yeah. And on that note,
and in Newark, New Jersey, which is one of the most violent places in the country, Frankie, yes.
Right, and on that note, with the Capitol on January 6th, I mean, those guards were throwing flashbangs into an innocent crowd. There was blowing people's ears off. Yeah. So it's incredible how coddled these people.
I like Frankie's hot take. You're right, Frankie. They were coddled. They, as a matter of AOC, if you lay a hand on them, they should have put them down into their face in the pavement. What are you doing? These are killer, criminal, violent thugs. You're coming to jailbreak them? Imagine if I did it. What if I did that, Frankie? If I walked up to the facility and you and me barnstormed it, what would happen?
You're done.
We'd be done. We'd get shot, we'd get tased, I'd have my face broken because I'd have my face in the pavement, and rightfully so. So it should have happened. So here's what I say. I think whoever, New Jersey has a governor election coming up. Whoever is the next governor of New Jersey, hopefully it's a Republican, they need to institutionalize and put these people up for mental psych evaluations. That should be the first thing that they do, mandatory. Those members of Congress, and I guess their cohort of followers who are out there the next day protesting like this. Roll it.
Fascism's got to go. Got to go. We say no. We say no. We say no. We say no. Fascism's got to go. Don't trash the country.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, man, how would that, let me tell you something about those people, okay? None of those people are from Newark. I've been to Newark. I go to the Prudential Center for hockey games or the airport. I've been to sometimes some meetings there, business meetings. Nobody who looks like that is in Newark. And let me tell you, those people wouldn't be in a 20-mile radius of Newark under any other circumstance. That I guarantee you. How much were they paid to go there? And who is securing the perimeter for them around it? It's just unbelievable.
No way they're
singing a song about fascism. So what is it? They're definitely not from Jersey.
Montana, maybe?
Like, oh, fascism. Because, like, even people from Jersey that are liberal know that Newark is a messed up place that you don't, like, go into. So, like, they came out from, like, I guess, like, the most Democrat area of Delaware. They bust them up. They gave them cookies and a script. And they said, here you go. Read about fascism, about the members of Congress who staged an insurrection on an ICE facility. There you go. Unbelievable. It's so crazy. There you go. Trump's right. They're truly mentally ill. 99 issues. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Wounded Warrior Project empowers post-9/11 veterans and their families with life-changing programs and services.
I faced my PTSD, and I'm a better husband and father because of it.
We help warriors get the expert care and support to thrive.
I got involved. I got healthier. I got to be an athlete again.
Through our programs, community, and advocacy, we're proving
anything is possible.
Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/connect.
Is your body ready for summer?
We're going to build a body you can be proud of. You just give me 30 minutes a day for 21 days, and I promise you the weight will come off.
This is 21 Day Fix, the perfect program to get you summer ready.
I am in perfect shape for my bikini.
I had that sexy little beef.
Get simple fitness, simple nutrition, fast results in just 21 days.
Get ready for summer with 21 Day Fix. This week, try it free at 21dayfix.com. That's 21dayfix.com.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $29.99. Order right now and get our 10-pattern thumb drive spray nozzle free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. There is a strict limit of 3 per order, so don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-956-8517 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
Hi, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. Thank you for sticking with us on what has been a really fun show here. Last Call, Real America's Voice. Man, this is everybody's favorite new conservative late night show on the weekends, like by far. I want to get to this last story tonight, which was very fascinating, and it was this photo that enraged the radical left. Frankie, you could put it on the screen. This is a photo of refugees coming into the country from South Africa. Now, you're probably noticing something about these refugees. They're holding American flags, they're pretty well dressed, and they're white, okay? And this enraged the left. For the first time ever, the left said, we need to stop having refugees in this country. It was a very fascinating thing. Now, it's really interesting because I've said many times in the show when talking about illegal immigration that the reason people come to this country for real asylum is when you are fleeing oppression from a government that wants to specifically kill you. There is no way that all of these illegals that have poured into our country, these MS-13 gang members and the Tren de Aragua, there is no evidence whatsoever of the local government saying that they're going to kill them. Not at all. They're coming into the country. The liberal lawyers tell them what to say. They fill out the paperwork. They say asylum, asylum, and then they get this scam of a process carried out for them that the leftists are defending. So you would think that when somebody's really fleeing oppression, that the left would be all over it. Again, this is what they've been talking about forever. Flee oppression. They're seeking asylum. We have seen the viral footage of the South African government saying, kill the white farmer. They literally said at a rally of 40,000 people, we're going to kill the white farmers. So the white farmers go, all right, we're out. They come to America. They're waving the flags. They're happy to be here. And this photo triggered them. I guess they don't like refugees if they don't make up the racial composition that they want. I think by definition, Frankie, that's real racism. We're going to roll this clip here of MSNBC melting down again, melting down from that picture. Roll it.
You know, I think it's important for us to understand that the Trump administration is a lot of things, but one thing it certainly is a white nationalist project. And oftentimes we don't want to describe it as such. I'm not reducing it to it, because there's greed, there's graft, there's all sorts of things happening around it. But we need to understand the way in which great replacement theory is driving this. There's a sense in which the immigration policy is all about demographic shifts. There's a sense around the assault on voting rights and civil rights. It's all about who will have the decision-making power to determine who will run the country. And here, this idea that the republic must remain a white nation is evidenced in this move, which is so explicit that it cannot be denied. And
okay. Again, the people who talk about asylum seekers, yeah, they're actual legitimate asylum seekers. This guy's mad because they're white. And then he flips the term great replacement, which is what we call what they're doing, which is obvious, deliberately trying to, water down the identity of this country. And he's calling it our replacement theory to make sure that the only people we accept as asylum seekers are people who are white. But this is the only instance, Frankie, of people actually on paper with video evidence fleeing oppression. What do you make of it, Frankie?
I'll just go one step further for you, Mike, and take the race completely out of it. I would argue that these liberals it's not that they don't want white people going through and being processed, but they don't want comfortability. They don't want happiness, because back when Trump, who built the cages? Who built the cages? That whole thing. It's like they literally were going in there with cameras and basically pissing off children and scaring them, cry for the camera. They don't want the process to be smooth and seamless. So they see people walking by and they don't have to sit in a cell for 10 hours because they're 30 years, over schedule because there's so many migrants coming in. Everything's buttoned up. It's clean. It's easy. And it's sufficient and safe. And they don't want that. They want people to be brutalized and cry and have no meals, culturally appropriate meals. That's it, bro.
Oh, my goodness. Frankie is dishing tonight. Yeah, and he's absolutely right. They don't want it. All right, guys, I want to tell you about one sponsor before we go here on the program, and that is our friends on over at OFP Farms. Guys, head over to OFP Farms right now. If you miss Mother's Day and you got to make it up to your mom with the beautiful gift, then go to OFPFarms.com right now and use promo code LASTCALL for 20% off your order. Guys, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Getting OFP Farm products, soaps, lotions, lip balms, you name it, all made, handmade on a family farm in America by God-fearing, America first, God-loving patriots who tune into this show every single week. So we still got the Mother's Day thing here because I know there's some belated Mother's Day gift givers out there. So use that promo code Last Call right now. I use the soap every day. They have beautiful scents and smells. It's all natural. It's made with the goat milk. They raise the goats themselves and they use tallow. That's like the original Maha stuff right there. So go to OFPFarms.com. Use promo code Last Call and save today on products I guarantee you will love, because everybody who watches this show in the inner circle, they all buy the OFP for their friends and family, and everyone loves it. There you go. We're going to honor moms one more time, right, Frankie?
Let's go.
Even though Mother's Day passed. Every day should be Mother's Day. So, all right, guys, that's about all the time that we have in the program. You guys know what we do. We are keeping it absolutely bold, unafraid, and I always say it, we're just getting started. Thank you all for today. We'll see you back live next week.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and paw licking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them, and you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues. He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active? Introducing the Easy Well Remedy Massage System, a triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax. The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with